This is the story of how I lost one of the most important opportunities in my career. An opportunity to become a research assistant to one of the leading professors at the University of Melbourne. But more importantly, this lost opportunity gave me a lesson which down the line helped me to become the most effective and confident communicator in the room. In the last year of my university, one of the professors advertised a role. The role was for a research assistant to help him with his current research. As part of the interview, he asked all the candidates to make a presentation on how we can make the current cars more efficient and superior. I was thrilled to get this opportunity and I prepared presentation well in advance. For a week straight, I started to recite the presentation and I knew every word of the presentation. In the morning of the presentation, I was full of excitement, full of confidence and full of energy that I know the presentation inside out and I'm gonna smash it. When the time came to present my presentation, I continuously kept talking word by word. Since I practiced the presentation a lot, it was like the words were coming naturally in my head and I kept talking for good 5 minutes non-stop. In my head, I was thinking that if I talk non-stop, I'll be able to give my ideas to the panel and they will be more impressed by me. But it was quite the opposite. What ended up happening is one of the other students got the opportunity and I was jobless. I was sad, I was nervous, I was tensed. And in so much passion and nervousness, I drafted an email to the professor asking him for feedback. He, being a great professor, asked me to come meet him in person, and the feedback he gave me just shook me away. He said, "Your ideas were great. In fact, your ideas were better than all the other candidates, but you did not give anyone a chance to hear it." I was surprised. I was clueless what he meant. What he said is, you did not pause for even 1 second during your presentation. It felt like as if you were reading a presentation from a book, line by line, word by word. What ended up happening with the panel is they did not understood my ideas at all. He said, "Always remember, silence or when you pause when you speak, it's not your enemy, it's your superpower." And that's the lesson I learned from that presentation and lost opportunity. That how important it is to pause when you speak. And that's our fifth and the final foundation principle of how to become an effective and confident communicator. And congratulations if you have already watched the first 4 videos in the series, because this is the fifth and the final foundation of becoming an effective and confident communicator. If you haven't watched the first 4 videos in the playlist, I would highly encourage you to go watch it because it's going to change the way you speak forever. And in this video, I'm going to share why pausing is such a crucial skill to become an effective and confident communicator. I will also give you some examples of what happens when you don't pause versus what happens when you pause, and you will see the impact by yourself. Pause is powerful because it gives audience a chance to absorb and understand the information. Did you just see what happened? This is the pause. You see how you absorb what I said, how you try to understand what I said, and how you put emphasis on the word just came from my mouth. Isn't this fascinating? Isn't this one of the most amazing things? Just that 1 second pause adds so much weight, authority, and effectiveness in something you said. And on the other hand, if I don't pause when I speak and I keep talking for next 1 minute, you will not emphasize on what I said. You will not understand why pause is important because I'm not pausing in the sentence. Did you see what just happened? I did not pause and you may have forgotten what I said. And that's why pausing is important after a complex or a critical information when you speak. It gives your audience a chance to observe and understand and reflect on the point that you just made. The second most powerful reason why we should incorporate pauses when we speak, especially for Indians who have moved abroad and trying to be confident communicators, because it helps us reduce these non-words and filler words. By non-words, I mean these sounds that we make to avoid the silence. For example, and by filler words, I mean the words we use like, such as, and. What I mean, do you know what I mean by that? These kind of words which does not add any value to the conversation. And the reason we do not want these filler words and non-words is it robs you of your clarity. it reduces the impact of the conversation, it loses the authority of the person who is speaking, and let you come off as the most non-confident speaker in the room. Let me demonstrate how the non-words and filler words robs you of the clarity. So I'm basically thinking that the idea I'm gonna present, I think it will help $5 million the organization. I think I can use experience for the 5 years of being engineer. I think I have the solution the problem. You see how it robs the clarity from my sentence? This is what exactly I mean by we have to get rid of these non-words and filler words. And whenever there is a non-word or filler word, it's best to just take a half a second pause. The third reason why you should pause is because when we pause, we get a chance to breathe. And the reason breathing is important is once you start running out of the air inside you, start to lose the projection of your voice. Imagine if I don't pause and if I continuously talk. At some point what will happen is I will run out of breath and it will start to reduce the projection of my voice. And then I'll breathe at an awkward position. And then I again start speaking. And if I don't take a strategic pause, I will keep on losing the projection in my voice. But on the other hand, if you pause, it gives you a strategic opportunity to breathe in between the sentences. So it is a win-win situation. You got a chance to breathe and the audience got a chance to absorb your message. Don't you think it's fascinating? Don't you think that just pausing for half a second between your sentences can cause so much transformation in the way you speak? And the reason that pause gives clarity to your audience is when you pause, they absorb. When you pause, they understand your point. Once they understand your point, they ask you questions. And when they ask questions, it clarifies their questions and doubt. And this is the recipe of an engaging and effective communication. On the other hand, imagine if you don't pause, they will not understand your point, they will not ask you the doubts or question, and they will think that you're not an effective communicator and they'll just move on in their life. Now, just for fun, I'm going to recite a dialogue from a movie. And if you know this dialogue or if you know this movie, please write down in the comments and tell me what movie it is. And you will understand why I'm so much putting emphasis on pausing at the right time. So here we go. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the north, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance. So I did not pause in this sentence at all. Now let me try again. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the north, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference of how pausing makes that dialogue suddenly more impactful? This is what I meant why pausing is important. So the challenge for you for this week is whenever you are making an important or complicated point at your workplace, in your university, or even in your day-to-day life, try to pause for just half a second and see the impact. It will change how you come off as a speaker. It will change how you come off as an effective communicator. Now, finally, to wrap up the video, if you have watched all the 5 videos in the series of 5 foundation principles of becoming an effective and confident communicator, thank you. I hope that these videos have helped you to improve your communication. If you haven't watched the first 4 videos, you can go and check it out on my channel. Please send these videos to your friends and family who you think that these videos are going to be helpful and if it will help them to become a confident speaker. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.